Hi, everybody. So my last training went long. So normally I would talk about DocuSign and commissions all at the same time, but I talked about DocuSign for way too long today. So I just broke up the recording. I'm going to have a second recording posted, which is not normally the way we go about it. We're going to go into commissions on this part of the recording. So right now we're sharing where we left off, whereas we were already in DocuSign. We figured out how to use DocuSign. We got a form sent out to someone. They sent it back. We figured out how to get that form from DocuSign into the opportunity. That's where we stopped. So now we're going to say, okay, we've got all the forms are submitted and we want to talk about offers and commissions now. So you can just move over one tab. We're going to talk about offers. So let's create an offer. We're going to add new offer here. We'll call it initial offer 1. Pardon me. And we're going to create that. So this is a follow the steps kind of a process. So you got the name, you can change it. We just made it, but if you need to change it, you can change it. You're going to do the offer date, what you think the close date is going to be, fill it out as best you can. We're going to move over here. And you can see the offer details. We're going to move over to each of the next ones. So there's parties, next one will be terms, etc. So you'll need the name of the buyer. You're going to need an email. And we're going to put in a number, etc. Notice that this is not required. There's no red asterisk, but this one is. So notice that, if you don't have all this information, fill out everything you can because it's only going to help you later. But you need to have the name of the associate. And, their email, their phone number, everything that you can think of. A lot of your stuff should already be filled out over here. Name of the seller, the representation, which is the associate's name, which will, in this case, because it's a listing, likely be you. So we're going to go to terms. And this is the stuff where I apologize if I'm filling out numbers that make absolutely no sense. I am not as in touch with that kind of stuff. But this is where you would fill out the stuff. So, what I want to illustrate is that, when you put something in here, this sales price is the combination of these two things. So cash, the finance amount, that's going to give you the total. The earnest amount, you put in some stuff, it'll auto-populate that way. Whatever it's going to be, option fees, all this stuff hopefully will be familiar to an agent that's going through the process. Fill out the way you're supposed to. And then we're going to go over to agent analysis. Pros and cons. This stuff won't immediately be something that your client will see, but they could potentially be. I would say in all things in command, make sure you're speaking politely. Don't describe people as the bald guy or the big person or whatever it's going to be. Just in case they have, they happen to see your notes and everything. It's just a way to stay, on good terms with everybody. So here we could send out a report. I'll show you that when we get to it, of what the pros and cons say. So make sure you're speaking in a way that people can understand. So we're going to say these are some pros. And I know that there are some restrictions on what you're allowed to say is good and bad about a particular thing. So make sure you're being compliant there. Cons. And this has some pros and cons. So that's the summary. We're going to save that. So that's one offer. I'm going to create another one so that I can illustrate the comparison feature here. I'm going to add another offer. So offer 2, create. Same things we just went through. Name, and we'll move on down to the associate's name. And there we go. Terms, put in some stuff and some other stuff. That'll add together. That's a lot of stuff. Let's not be crazy, right? And the thing, agent analysis. Other pros, better cons. That doesn't make any sense. These are the other pros and better cons. Save. All right, so now we have these 2 offers associated with this opportunity. We want to, okay, let's say you've got a lot of them. You want to pick 2 because 2 are at the top and you want to say, okay, which one do I want to choose? So you can select any number of them, or you can select all of them if you've got many, and we can go to this compare offers situation here. And it's going to line these two things up so that you can see the offers from the different parties right next to each other and the different things that you might consider to make a decision. So you can see where it says pros, better, cons. This is all the stuff that I just typed. So you can see a preview of this. So if you go to email offer comparison, click this little I, you can send this out with the email address that's populated over here to somebody that you're working with, and they get this beautiful comparison that you just filled out. Now, again, this is what we typed in the pros and the cons and the summary. So make sure this is something that you are comfortable with people reading before you send that out. And it's got all of your information populated from your marketing profile, your pretty picture, and your license number. You just saw me do that. I didn't set up this email anywhere. This is something that Command just kind of created for me on the fly. It looks beautiful. We can send it out to communicate with everybody. So close that out because I don't need to send it to anybody. We're going to go back. So here we are with offers and commissions. Here's some offers. You can accept or reject the offer. Once you've done that, you can kind of work with it, manage your commission, and move on from there. I'm going to kind of pump the brakes here because I don't want to mess with the people in my market center with all this stuff. So I'm going to go back to offers and commissions. But once you've accepted an offer and the terms are exactly what you want, you can submit it. You're telling, the people that you work with at the market center that this is the deal. This is what we're doing. And then they'll compare that to the paperwork and, make sure everything's square. And people will communicate with you as to whether or not you've done this properly. You've got some information down here. So I'm going to go back to offers and commissions, and I'm going to change my response so that that's cleared out. So you can always change that out. You can reject if you want. Now it's rejected. I can change my response, yes, and go back. So if you can kind of manage yourself that way, you can edit it, add an analysis, send it, remove it. So this is just sort of, if you've got a listing and there's a lot of offers coming in, you can stay organized this way if you work with this tab properly. That honestly might be just about, you can add notes here. Again, note title, this note may be seen by the client, maybe. So be careful. Be careful what you are writing. Just in case someone, maybe you're interacting with Command. Maybe this was never intended to be sent to somebody, but you're going to be working with Command. They might be working right next to you. Just stay polite. Standard practice. Be kind. So we'll go over to the timeline and you'll be able to see here all of the different things that were happening with this opportunity if it loads in time. This will probably be a shorter video because we're just about at the end of the content that I wanted to talk about with commissions, but I didn't want to go too long. In the previous video that I posted all about DocuSign, I talk about DocuSign for a long time. So, while that's loading, oh, there it is. So you can see the stuff that was created, the offer was made, the documents were removed, they were uploaded. We did all this stuff in the previous video. Went to transaction, changed the transaction, the opportunity details. It's a bunch of stuff here. That's all dated, and it goes all the way back to when I created this opportunity and have been messing with it since then. So if you want to go back on the timeline and see all the things that you've been doing, you can kind of see when something like that happened. So if you lost a form, but you swear that you did a thing with it, this would be a good place to check to see if you did. Let me take a second and pause here and go to KW Answers. Again, that's answers.kw.com. That is an important site. So if you have questions about commissions, you could come to me, call me, text me, email me, whatever. I'll help. You can always go here. See if I can spell today. Let's see. Let's say, sometimes you can just even just highlight or just take that same thing and just say offers and commissions. Create an offer and opportunity, download an offer comparison, manage your opportunities. Am I spelling commission right? Let's see if I am. There we go. So you can see the different topics here. Get started with compliance and commissions in command. Team settings, transition to command, document management, all of the stuff we went through today. Submit compliance documents, how to do that, all the different steps that we went through today. This is all here. So some of the stuff can get a little complex, and it's not always convenient to, pause and rewind a video. This is a great way to kind of figure that stuff out. It's got the arrows, it's got the steps, it's all right here. It's a great resource. So make sure you go into KW Answers if you got lost in some of that stuff. You're going to be doing documents and DocuSign and compliance, and you can't dodge it. If you're gonna close a deal, you're going to be doing these steps. You're required to use command to do these steps. So you're going to have to know it. So make sure that you take the time to learn it. Make sure you're asking all of the questions, any of the questions. Don't be shy. Come to me and ask a question. We'll make sure you know it, because you're going to be doing this all of the time, because we're all really, really good at it. And we're going to be closing deals just like crazy. Every time you close a deal, you're going to be doing this. So don't dodge it. Come find me. Let's make sure you know it. Let's close this up. I think I'm done for the day. Let me double check my little notes here. Yeah, all right. Okay, well, thanks for joining me on the second round, and I'll see everybody tomorrow when we talk about the agent site, the consumer app, and the new command app, and sort of how we're going to say goodbye to the Kelly app. All right. Bye, everybody.